What's happening, y'all? We are back. It's Thursday, January 15th. Um, a lot going on. A lot has happened since Tuesday, last time I was on stream. Um, so basically, I don't know where to start. All right, so I did go ahead and hire, like I said I was gonna do, I hired a VA. VA I worked with in the past, Isba, who is helping me with a lot of different things. So one, we'll start with the job search thing. She is basically applying for, um, you know, all the jobs that I am. She's basically applying for jobs and sending connection invites, right? Those are two things she's doing, and she's doing it for two different LinkedIn profiles. My old LinkedIn profile and my new LinkedIn profile, right? Which is like just a better, more optimized for like higher paying jobs and things like that, right? The new one. So she sent those connection invites on LinkedIn and applying for jobs through LinkedIn. Um, that is, I feel like that's efficient, right? That's productive for me because it allows me to focus on the interviews themselves, right? Which is like most important. I don't need to be spending the whole day just applying for jobs. I should be, preparing for interviews, job interviews, and all that kind of stuff, right? So it allows me to focus on that. Um, and networking, right? Like I told you yesterday. So or on Tuesday, like I told you on Tuesday. So um, yeah, those two things are more important than sending as many applications as I can. Basically, I feel like that's a tedious task. Um, that is better suited for her to do that while I'm focused on like more important things. Right? I mean, the whole thing is important, but you get my point, right? Like she's focusing on she's doing the tedious task while I'm doing the like higher value tasks. Um, so it's like that's what we got going on. Uh, I talked to speaking of networking, I talked to my old boss from a few years ago. Actually, several are basically in sales leadership roles right now. So he sent me their information and told me to reach out to them and see if they can if they can help out in any way. Right. So that's the thing about going to HBCU, in particular going to Morehouse because it's like it's a brotherhood, and we try to help one another when we can. Um, so I'm about to reach out to those dudes now. Um, like I said, he sent me their numbers, so I'm gonna reach out to them directly. Um, and hopefully something will come from that. Like I told y'all yesterday, that's the other thing. Again, when I say I'm going to be focused on networking and interviews, while she's focusing on just submitting the online job applications, because the networking um, is like that's going to be the way that I get the type of job I'm looking for. It's more than likely not going to come through an online job application, right? It's more than likely going to come through networking with the right people. You know what I mean? Um, so that's why we are focused more on that. Um, and that's not even like an opinion, right? Like I'm seeing it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally seeing it firsthand with this whole process because I've sent in hundreds and hundreds, probably at this point maybe thousands of job applications in, right? And it's like, you know, we've had some interviews and all that. That's all good and great, but we still haven't gotten an offer yet. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, I have to kind of assume, like I have to, I gotta switch shit up, right? I gotta do something different, and so that's why we lean into we lean into networking more. Um, so uh, yeah, man. Um, my VA. it's like late night for her now, so she's basically done for the day, right? It's middle of the day for me, but it's like late at night for her. So she's not gonna be back until, whatever my nighttime is when she'll start working again or whatever. Um, so um, I'm gonna kind of walk through. I'm gonna make some changes, right, to the document that I gave her. So I gave her a Google Doc, that lays out everything I want her to do. What her job description is, whatever, everything I need her to do. So I'll make some updates to that, so that when she gets back online 7 8 hours from now, whatever it is, she'll have that updated doc, right, and she'll know kind of what I need her to do. So I'm gonna make some changes to that. I got a recruiter that's gonna call me in about an hour. So it's gonna be a short stream today. I mean, I guess I'll probably stay on stream while she calls me, because I need to, take some notes and all that stuff. Um, Either take some notes or do a voice recording, like record the conversation and then go back and transcribe it. So I can be ready for the next interview. Because the meeting with this recruiter, she's actually, it's like we're calling it a interview prep. She's actually helping me prep for the interview, the actual interview that's going to take place next week. You know what I mean? So she doesn't really have to do that, but she said that she was willing to do it. So I was like, okay, cool. So it seems like she's really trying to help, and and all that. So because I don't even know, her title isn't even a recruiter, bro. Her job title is a senior business development rep, right? So she's not even like your normal recruiter. So either she's just trying to help. Either it's like one or two things. Either she's just really trying to help, or she really thinks I'm a good fit for the role based on my like resume and stuff. And she's like, trying to do everything she can to, make sure I get an offer or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, she really trying to help. That's cool. I'll talk to her in like an hour. And then the I got a second interview with this company. It's really, to me, it's like the fourth. I had two interviews. So they hired a recruiter. This company hired a recruiter, right, to reach out to me. A lot of companies do that, right? The recruiter reached out to me. I had two interviews with the recruiter, right? And then I had an interview with the actual company, right, last week, right? Actually, no, that was earlier this week, a couple of days ago. And then they just emailed me back and said they want to have another interview with the same guy I spoke to a couple of days ago, and I guess one of his colleagues, one of his friends. So, um, to me, it feels like the fourth interview with this company, but they're calling it the second interview. Regardless, right? We haven't gotten to this point in the process yet. This is gonna be my first, like, this is the first interview process where I've met with like, the director of sales or somebody like that, like the person who would be my boss, and then they uh, pass me through to the next round. This will be the first time that's happening. So I gotta be on my P's and Q's for that interview. That's gonna be on Tuesday, I believe. So I gotta get my P's and Q's for that. Um, so that if that goes well, I think that's when they'll start talking about an offer. You know what I mean? Um, and then we can just take things from there. I don't remember what I told him in terms of comp. Um, I know the sales director didn't ask me about comp, but the recruiter did. I think I told him a base between 150 and I might even say 160. But let's just say told him between 150 and 200, base, and then double on target earnings. So like I've been telling y'all, I'm looking for $200,000 base, right, and then double on target earnings. But if they offer 150 or 160 or whatever base salary with double on target earnings, I'm not gonna turn it down, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and accept it, and then and start working that job, right? Working with them. Um, but at the same time, we would just continue applying for those jobs that are paying 200K, right? Base salary, and so on and so forth. But just to go ahead and get some shit going, right? Just to get rolling, I would just go ahead and accept that offer, right? Um, I networked with another guy who he was about to be a client of mine when I was doing my lead generation agency. He's a financial advisor. So also, but we got good rapport, whatever. So talked to him last night too. Again, just networking, and he said he would keep an ear out, and if he hears of anything or whatever, he would pass it along, which basically means he ain't gonna do shit, right? He's not gonna help with my job search, but he said he would. So we'll see. But I'm not, fingers not crossed at all. Um, but so that's what it is, man. So I'm about to, like I said, make some changes to this. Again, the Google Doc that I gave my VA. This is the document that she's using to, do what she's been doing. That's part of the reason why I haven't been like, uh, I mean, I've been, of course I've been on stream, but I haven't been like, it doesn't feel right now like there's a lot for me to do because she's submitting all the job applications for me. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not like the main thing I have to do obviously right now, the biggest thing is just to make sure I'm going to the job interviews. Right? So if it's a day like today where I don't have any job interviews, you know what I'm saying? Like what am I doing? Like it's not really, a ton for me to do. But again, one thing I'm gonna do today, I'm about to do that right now, which is reach out to um, these Morehouse brothers who my old manager uh, sent me, right? He told me to reach out to them, sent me their contact information, told me to reach out. I'm gonna reach out to them right now. I'm gonna reach out to um, people uh, that I've connected with, like other Morehouse bros who I've connected with um, on LinkedIn, right? Like the last day or so, they've been accepting my invites. So I'm gonna message them, let them know what's going on, see if they can help. So again, that's networking, and then like I said, I'll update the doc, right? That Google Doc. Um, so let's start with the networking first, since that's more important than updating this Google Doc, because she's not gonna even see the updated doc for another 7-8 hours. So it's not that serious. I'm gonna play this for a second. Um, got me a look. Oh, it's already lagging. So I'm gonna text the first guy. I'm gonna text the first um, Morehouse bro first. Text him right now. All right, cool. The recruiter just emailed me back while I'm sending this text. Um, she just emailed me back saying that she wants to do the interview prep tomorrow. So I guess something came up, whatever. So that should be doable. I don't really have an issue with that. Da, 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 da. All right, so I'm about to send him this connection. So I said the guy I'm texting right now, I just found him on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna send him this LinkedIn invite. All right, so just send him this invite on LinkedIn. And I'm gonna text him at the same time because Yeah, okay, I'm still sending this text. Oh, man. Hold on. Hold up, man. Bond, what's up? Hmm? Hmm? Yeah, it's all good.
I just don't want it, like I said, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I'll probably just let, um,
I'll look at that for a minute to make up your mind. Ain't no rush.
yeah, probably like 30, 45 minutes. How was the,
Maybe.
appointment?
Now they want to check my brain.
What?
Yeah, it's just
Why?
because she said melanoma will attack your brain. Which sounds weird.
I thought they already checked your brain.
I thought they did too. She said that was my skull, not my brain. But, that was a different doctor. They want to do an MRI of my brain. But surgery's still on.
Why do they want to do MRI? Like,
Surgery's still on. Huh?
what made them say that they want to check your brain?
Because she is a specialist in immunotherapy, and I don't know. They were just supposed to check every aspect when they did that scan, that whole body scan,
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember the black doctor that you all dealt with. She said that too. And I said, that's when I said, I thought they checked my brain. And that's when, she looked back and she said, oh, yeah, well, we won't do that. But she had mentioned that. She had mentioned that. But, and then even today, when she said my brain, I said, but they did that. And she said, I said, I took pictures of the whole report. And she was looking too, though. She didn't see it. She said, let me see what you have. And when I showed her, she said, no, this is the skull. She said, it's a PET. She said, PET is to check your skull and skeletal, whatever, but not your brain.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm not claiming that. I feel fine. I think I'm thinking fine. That don't mean something can't be up there. But I'm not claiming that either. I think everything.
A what?
Rheumatologist. I have not seen a rheumatologist since 2014.
What is that?
Because she says I have an autoimmune disease. Well, I did, and I guess it never goes away. When I started seeing a dermatologist, you wouldn't remember. It was, like I said, 2014.
Mm.
And I tried some of everything. So I saw a rheumatologist, saw a dermatologist, like that dermatologist, Kyle. You went to him a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Kayl. Anyhow, back in 2009, I remember that's when I got my doctorate. They took a plug out of my scalp. Tiny little plug. I remember I was getting my doctorate presenting and my head was hurt because they had cut my scalp. And they determined it was lupus. That's what they always say Bajau have. There's different kinds of lupus. One that attacks your organs, and one that attacks your skin. They said I had lupus discoid type. That was why I was having the baldness. Because it's patches of skin up here in my head where I was losing hair. So anyhow, nothing could cure it. So that's when I gave up on my hair. I started getting injections. It didn't really help, it just hurt. So anyway, I saw a rheumatologist when he said I had lupus. But I don't remember why I stopped, because I wasn't doing nothing for me. I think he wanted me to take some pills, said something about my night vision or my eyes or something. The pills he had me on. I don't want to take something that's going to cause night blindness or whatever they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, I finally stopped going there. But she said, if I have an autoimmune disease like lupus, I wouldn't respond well to immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is a therapy where they're going to inject me in my vein every 3 weeks that will help kill the cancer so it won't come back. But if I have lupus, or if I'm not cleared by a rheumatologist, the immunotherapy is probably not a good idea.
Mm.
So it's just one thing after another. So I called the rheumatologist, and that's why I didn't know how long ago it's been. I said, I used to be a patient there. I remember the name when I looked up rheumatology. Carmen. Something about the name rang a bell. Cameron. So she said, no. She said, well, what's your name and birthday or something? She said, oh, yeah, I have you in the system. You were here in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kwame and Shirley went to gift shop, still at the cancer center. The doctor called and said, you need to make an appointment with a rheumatologist as soon as possible, within the next week or two, possibly. Maybe in the next week or two, possibly. So, earliest they can see me at that office is February the 2nd, 3rd, I can't remember. But I told them, okay, make the appointment. Told them why. And then I called back to the doctor I saw today and I said, the earliest they can see me is February 3rd, unless I need to make an appointment with one I've never been to before. So again, I don't think the appointment has anything to do with my surgery. It has to do with whether or not I do the immunotherapy. Or what the prospect is.
Immunotherapy for your skin and all that.
For the cancer, to make sure it doesn't Surgery's on the 26th.
What's the immunotherapy for?
It's something they inject me with. It's boosting my immune system to fight the cancer so it doesn't come back.
Okay. So then that is, but that's separate from the surgery.
Yes.
And they're trying, and you need to go to see if they're going to still do the immunotherapy.
Yes. The rheumatologist, if I have an autoimmune disease, I guess that's your body fighting against immunotherapy. There are certain drugs that help build up your immune system. And if I have an autoimmune disease, maybe that's part of my problem now. My immune system is not strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if immunotherapy would work for me to keep fighting the cancers where it doesn't come back.
The surgery is just supposed to remove the cancer, right?
Surgery removes it. I had surgery in 2016. I had surgery in 2018 when it came back. Now I gotta have surgery now it's been 10 years though. Not quite 10 years. So I'm having it again. 8 years later I'm having cancer surgery. But if I started immunotherapy, maybe it will prolong it and it won't be back for if ever. Anyway. And the surgery will be at 10 a.m. And I gotta be out there at 8 a.m. again.
Mm.
Did an EKG, had a printout of my heart. They drew blood for the surgery. And I talked to that therapist.
The surgery says on 26, right? One thing after another, man. I just feel like when it rains, it pours right now. Uh, Alright, so I just sent that text. Uh, I'm gonna text the other guy. He sent me to reach out to. But yeah, man. When it rains, it pours, man. I just heard my mom. She, yeah, she was just diagnosed with cancer. So, uh, yeah, she had an appointment, so we were just talking about that. It's like when it rains, it pours, man. Reaching out to this other Morehouse bro. So I just reached out to those two Morehouse bros, and we'll see where that goes. And I'm about to respond to some people on LinkedIn, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Lagging. Why are you lagging so hard? We're trying to get the lagging under control. That's what I'm doing, y'all. That's why I've been saying that I'm trying to get this. Been lagging like crazy, so I'm trying to just get shit under control. Mm, Might message a few Morehouse bros who I've connected with on LinkedIn over the past few days. I mean, first message people that look like they're in a position of leadership. You know what I mean? Somebody who's like director of sales or something like that. Reach out to those individuals first. Like, yeah, so it's like Gregory here is in a position of leadership. So let me reach out to him. I would share my screen, but I'm kind of afraid to since we lagging so much. So I'm gonna say First, I'm gonna check to see if there are any open roles at the company that Gregory works for. If there are, then I'm gonna like, you know what I'm saying, mention those open roles specifically. But like I said, shit keeps lagging, so I might have to. This is annoying, man. Alright, so now I'm checking for jobs at this company. See what they got open. Yeah, he's got a few. Director of Business Development at his company is open. Um, Associate Director of Business Development. Um, okay. Let me go back here. So I said, hey Gregory, my name is Miles Hanna, Morehouse class of 2018. I'm currently seeking a new role in sales, i.e. account executive or business development. I've gone on several interviews, but it feels like I'm running in circles. Is there any way you can help? Right, so very straightforward. I'm gonna kind of mix up the messages a little bit. So some people I'm gonna be very straightforward with, and like this, and then other people, um, maybe not so much. We'll see. But I'm gonna be very straightforward with this first one. This first message. So sends. I think people that are in like leadership positions, we're gonna be even. We're gonna be like a lot more uh, straightforward. With people that are in leadership positions, like I just said, just straight up, like your boys. Cause I mean, bro, y'all seen me, y'all heard me talk about it. We're going on plenty of interviews. Going on interviews is not the problem. That's the easy part, to be honest. But the harder part is, getting uh, the actual offers, right? So that's the part that we've been struggling with. All right, so Corey here. I mean, I can't see my screen. Hopefully, it doesn't start lagging again. I'll start sharing my screen. But so we got Corey here. We just reached out to Gregory. I'm gonna reach out to Corey and send him the same message. So Corey, Miles Clark 2018. I'm currently seeking a new role in sales, i.e. account executive or business development. I've gone on several interviews, but it feels like I'm running in circles. And you could help. All right, so again, very straightforward. And let me be very clear here too. Um, Maybe I'll say enterprise account executive is what I'm looking for. So say there's account executive and enterprise account executive typically have, we're talking about two different pay grades. So so soon. Uh, Anybody who again is like director of sales or you know uh, director of business development, um, VP of sales. Those are people that I'm just gonna try to be very, very, very straightforward with. I'm not gonna be as straightforward with this message in the sense I'm a little different. Let's say expecting a call any second now too from Haley. Matter of fact, let me put voice memos up. Or start the voice memo so we can record the conversation. Since she's about to call me in a second, I'm gonna stop streaming. Not streaming. Stop sharing my screen for a second, so I'm not frying my battery. Just for a couple minutes while I'm talking to her. Yeah, bro, we're just trying to reach out to people that are in sales leadership right now. Those are people I feel like can look out if they want to look out. You know what I'm saying? They're in a position to look out and try to help if they want to. Miles Hannah.
Hi, Miles. It's Haley from Big Lab.
Hey.
I know I sent you the job description.
I'm sorry. Can you?
I'll send you.
I can. You think it'd be some Bristol? Yeah, down there.